Robyn claims that she wants to have baby number 6. Kody? I don't think he's on board. Let's talk about it. Hello, all you sister friends. We are going to talk about season 15, episode 9, which is called A Family Stuck. The most hysterical subtitle to this episode is The Brown Family is Having Problems Communicating. That is every episode from every season. So this one was a doozy. Specifically, we are going to talk about Robyn telling Kody that she wants to have baby number 6. All right, what I found very interesting about this clip is it starts off with the two of them very happily walking to the back of their property, sitting down, and Robyn beginning a conversation with Kody. Now, it appears to me, and you tell me what you think, that Kody thinks this conversation is going to be Robyn saying, guess what? I'm pregnant. I really believe that, and I'll show you why. First of all, you'll see in the clip that Robyn points out just recently the two of them, when they were on a rendezvous in Vegas, were discussing, are we going to have more kids or are we done? And apparently the end of that conversation ended with a non-answer, which is how every conversation and every debate and every group meeting with the Brown family ends. Okay, we'll just table it for another time. There's never a resolution to anything.
All right, well, I feel like we've made so much progress here.
I feel like we see how the expo goes and decide at that point. Before we jump to everything, we don't know.
At least that's how it always was with the OG3, and now we have proof it's the same way with Robyn. So let's watch Robyn present the topic of what they're going to talk about to Kody. And let's take a look at Kody's face. I honestly believe he thinks she's saying, guess what? I'm pregnant. Let's watch.
So, darling.
Yes, dear.
You know how, like, a couple years ago when we went back to Vegas for a little, like, trip, and I said, are we done having kids? We both kind of went, I think we're done.
All right, so it starts off with Kody smiling, happy, excited they're going to have a conversation together. Prior to this, there was a little introduction where Kody was talking about how great Robyn is at communicating. Oh, that's a whole separate video. Nevertheless, he touts her as the communication expert, and he's just excited to sit down and have whatever this conversation is. He claims he has no idea what they're going to talk about. I originally was going to call BS, except that smiley face at the beginning changed. Let's watch. Happy Kody turns to scared and worried Kody.
Yes, dear.
You know, a little, like, trip, and I said, are we done having kids?
And pay attention to the hard swallow and the panic look on his face.
Case closed.
I have days when I'm baby hungry and I really want another baby.
I'm caught in a conundrum completely. You know, this is what I've always done. This is what I've always been. I've always been fathering and having special experiences with little people because they're sweet.
I just have to pause for a second. Kody's definition of fathering is special experiences with little people. We're going to do a whole separate video where I'm going to throw this clip into, where if he uses the word experience for things that you do in life one more time,
I'm going to scream.
Raising children is a joy. Raising children fills my heart. Watching children grow up and mold them into amazing human beings. There's nothing better in the world. No, I really like these special experiences with little people. Wait, there's coming up another word that he says that just drove me nuts. You're going to see the word that was like nails on a chalkboard to me. You can't miss it. Here we go.
Ari's been just a wonderful experience. But at the same time, I'm caught in this conflict.
What? I'm caught in this conflict. Oh, and he has this little kind of creepy smile when he does it. Oh, let's watch it again just for kicks and giggles.
But at the same time, I'm caught in this conflict.
What did you say?
I'm caught in this conflict.
I needed you to suffer along with me. Now we're going to go on and explain why the hesitation from Kody. All right, Kody will start off saying that Ari's just been such a sweetheart. He stops himself. He goes, Ari's been such a special experience. She's an experience too.
Let's try to find another word.
Not a joy, not the love of my life, not the sweetest thing ever. She's a special experience. They're going to go on to explain why she's a special experience in a little bit. But before we get there, let's watch.
Ari's been such a wonderful experience. But at the same time, I'm caught in this conflict because Ari's been weaned for a year and she's still keeping us up at night.
I mean, let's face it, for 25 years at this point, it was baby after baby after baby after baby. Kody wanted the women to have as many babies as they were willing to have for him. So why stop now? Robyn's younger. Robyn points out she's 41 years old, so this decision needs to be made now, and that Kody's significantly older than that. So they can't wait much longer. They're going to have to make a decision. This is it, Kody. Just like you did with Mary, where you insisted that Mary give you an answer, does she want to have a kid or not? And I know we were all crazy over that. Mary cannot make decisions.
Bless her heart.
Mary couldn't decide after Robyn came in the family if she wanted to go ahead and look into other options for having more children, i.e. in vitro fertilization. Eventually, Mary made a decision. But boy, was Kody upset when she couldn't make a decision. I get it. She struggles with making decisions. So it's fun to see the shoe on the other foot. Here is Robyn telling him, make a decision.
If you were trying to commit me, like right now, and I'd have to really focus, what she's doing is you got to decide if you want to have more kids. I'm caught in a conundrum completely.
Well, it seems like he's made the decision and he's going to justify it now. So let's watch.
Ari's been weaned for a year and she's still keeping us up at night.
It started to get better once she was weaned and stuff.
No, it's not better.
The infantilization that Robyn does with her kids, it's shocking. She is trying to suppress their growth so much. You know how every kid had to get out of the house when they were 18.
Leave my boys out hanging out.
They're adults. Bye-bye.
Now Robyn's kids. Janelle tried to defend Garrison. Was it Garrison or Gabe? One of them. She tried to defend during COVID the fact that he was out in a camper in the back of the property and not in the house. Kody was not happy with that. Where's Dayton? In a camper. In his 20s. Behind the house. We see Ari at about age 5 or 6 with a pacifier in her mouth. As a speech-language pathologist, let me tell you that is not good for the development of your palate or your teeth. You're going to end up with an open bite, which I do believe I did see the last time that she was being interviewed. Pacifiers are intended to fill the reflex that babies have when they're born. It's how they know how to drink. It's how they know how to latch on to mom. We all have reflexes. Babies have extra reflexes that they eventually grow out of. One of those reflexes is sucking reflex. If you don't give a child a pacifier, they'll probably find their thumb. It's a soothing technique during that time that they're not drinking the bottle. Now, as a speech therapist, we would recommend that they do not have that pacifier in their mouth. Definitely past the age of 3 at the latest. But really, 18 months to 2 years, it should be done. It's not needed anymore. The sucking reflex is gone. Now it's just a habit that's been developed. And it's a habit that affects the growth of the mouth and the dentition. It can even lead to jaw alignment problems. What should you do? Substitute it with a lovey, a plushie, a stuffed animal, a blankie, a something. Make sure when they have it, it is only when they are in their bed, and it must come out of the mouth before they get taken out of the bed.
That's called good parenting.
So why would Robyn allow this? Because we've seen she doesn't want her kids to grow up. She's pushing Peter Pan syndrome on them. And now here's another example. So here we have Kody talking about breastfeeding. Okay, breastfeeding, amazing. The American Academy of Pediatrics, as well as the World Health Organization, recommend that you breastfeed your baby for about the first 6 months of their life and then start introducing foods along with it. And that can go all the way up to age 2 if you want. Well, we found out that Ari, who also sleeps in their bed, stopped nursing a year ago, and she's 4 years old. Okay. To each their own, right? I don't want to breastfeed shame her. Breastfeeding's good. I don't know that this is a great situation, though. So she breastfed until she was 3 years old. Therefore, she wasn't sleeping through the night. Don't really understand that either. My kids were sleeping through the night when I was still breastfeeding them, and that was less than a year of age. So I don't understand why at age 3 she can't sleep through the night. But then we go on to find out she's now 4. She's still not sleeping through the night. What is Robyn's response to this? Well, typical Robyn, she's in denial. And for the first time in Sister Wives folklore, we see Kody disagreeing with Robyn with a creepy smile on his face, but still, he's disagreeing. Let's watch.
It started to get better when she was weaned and stuff.
No, it's not better.
Okay, now in one of the couch interviews, we are going to have Robyn explain and defend this behavior that Ari is 4 years old and still not sleeping through the night.
Ari is 4 years old. She just turned 4, and she's a night owl. She doesn't like to go to bed, and she's active through the night.
Ariella's jumping on the couch, trying to find out how high she can go. Can you just go to sleep?
Oh, she's a night owl. Okay. We didn't know she was an owl. That makes it okay. At age 4, if you're a night owl, it's because your parents have not sleep trained you properly to be asleep at night and awake during the day. I will admit there are some kids that like to stay up later in the evening than others. But by age 4, they're still sleeping through the night. In the middle of the night, they're not getting up and jumping on couches. It's not okay. Where's the parenting going on here? There's no way a child can be up every night, all night long, and jumping on couches, unless they're sleeping during the day.
It's mental exhaustion. You're arguing with the 4-year-old who has the words of a 10-year-old and the logic of an idiot.
Well, therein lies the problem. We should not be arguing with a 4-year-old. The parent should be parenting. The child should be listening. I've said it before. All children are born selfish. They know nothing else. They're born into a world they don't understand. They can't communicate. All they can do is cry and fuss. They want. Our role as parents, give. Change the diaper, change their clothes, give them a pacifier, feed them food, nurse them, put them down for nap times. The parent is in complete control of the child's schedule, unless they decide the child can just do whatever it wants to do. Well, then there's going to be consequences for that. Children crave guidelines. They crave structure. As a parent, that's our responsibility. As the child starts to grow and is able to start to communicate, you start to give it guidelines, boundaries. Shouldn't be arguing with your 4-year-old. At minimum, that child should be in her own bed, reading if she wants to, listening to lullaby music, but she should have parameters and guidelines that this is nighttime. At nighttime, we're in bed. And during the day, no sleeping. That child will eventually go to bed at night. Our bodies need sleep. It's really simple, actually.
Maybe not for them.
What a fun little glimpse into the window of parenting that we see Robyn and Kody Brown. No wonder we can never be allowed in their house. Okay, this next section I found really fascinating. I've never heard this before. Let me know if this is part of the LDS faith, if it's a Mormon thing, or if it's something that maybe is just part of the AUB. So I know I have a lot of LDS people who watch this channel. Please write down below and educate me on this area. The clip right now starts to take a turn. So now we're not talking about Ariella anymore, which is Kody's argument for I don't want to have any more kids. Robyn, at this point, doesn't really want to accept that kind of quasi answer that Kody just gave her. But I found this fascinating. This is Robyn's reason why she wants to have one more child. She believes she's already committed herself to another soul in heaven, if I have it correctly, that she promised would be her child. That's my basic understanding of it. Let's listen to her explain it.
In my head, I made promises to a certain amount of children to be their mother, in the pre-life, and I want to fulfill all those promises.
That's fascinating to me. I've never heard that before. So help me out, write down below, what do you know about that? She said, in my head, I believe I've made promises in the pre-life to a certain number of children. She will go on to describe the child that she's been dreaming about, that she believes is the one she's made a promise to. Now, she didn't say how many there are, but I'm guessing she made a commitment to 6, maybe, because she has 5, and she believes that there is another one that is waiting for her. Kody not so thrilled with this information. Kody is ready to live a life in Vegas again. I'm sure he's ready to sell Coyote Pass in the house and just take off to Vegas, live in the casinos where he loves to spend time, and spend endless amounts of time with Robyn, because it appears that the children have been really taking up a decent amount of their time. Saul and Ari are always with Robyn. I've never seen her go do something without them, even though she has a nanny.
What does the nanny do?
But it appears Kody's over it. That's now how it was with the rest of his kids, just these 2. He wasn't around for the rest of the kids. That's their biggest complaint. Well, Dad was never around, but he was always around for Robyn. She saw to it that he was always around. And he's thinking, yeah, no more Robyn. I'm done. This has been a lot of work with these 2. You've been forcing me to cook meals, wash dishes, change diapers, hold babies. I didn't do any of those things for my other 13. I'm ready to retire.
I want to have a life with you that's not just all about our kids.
I've already told the other 13, I'm done with you. I'm ready for these ones to get out of the house. An infant? I don't know. I can hear the dialogue going through his head now.
I don't know what it was, but I had someone hanging around for a long time.
I love when Robyn tells him, listen, I don't know what it is, but there's this other soul that's hanging around me. And Kody's face is like, no, please no. Kody knows darn well that in their faith that they are not supposed to ever deny the birth of a child that God wants them to have. Now, whether that's something that the other wives all followed or not, I don't know. So he has to be open-minded to this. Now, this part I really don't understand.
I believe that we exist in a spiritual form before we are born and come to earth. I believe that I have had interactions with some of my children's, when they were a spirit, just to, before they were born.
She believes that she's actually had interactions with her children when they were a spirit. I mean, is she talking about all of her children that are already born? Or as she puts it, children's?
I have had interactions with some of my children's.
So has she interacted with all her children's before they were born, and then she knew, and now she's having this interaction with this other child? And so she feels like this is the same as what I've had with my other children's? I'm sorry. Let's listen through. And again, if you know anything about this, write it down below. Never heard about this before.
Just a little dark-haired boy.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There's this crazy fear in my head that I'll leave somebody behind.
She blows me out of the water with a visual of a dark-haired boy. Now, if we got a blonde girl, if we decide to do it, we got a blonde girl, we'd go, all right, we got somebody from somebody else's pile now, My blonde hair really comes out in the kids, so I doubt that we'd have a dark-haired boy. Maybe we're supposed to adopt. I have no idea.
It is true if you sit and think about it. It doesn't there's no really dark-haired kids in his whole family. So they're either like brown or sandy blonde or blonde blonde. So they kind of go from like really blonde, almost white hair, all the way up to a light brown. I like that he's thinking outside the box and thinking that, oh, well, maybe it'll be an adoption. Deep down inside, he's probably also thinking, is she going to step out on me? Or is this the next husband that she has that she's going to have this little dark-haired boy with?
Drama, drama, drama.
Just got to look at all the possibilities. So the end of the conversation is the culmination where a decision is made. Just kidding. It's the Brown family. We're going to table this again for another time and probably never talk about it again.
Yeah, I figured.
Gosh, do you guys remember that? I really was surprised when I was watching it. I like vaguely kind of remembered it, but I don't remember a lot of the details. So I wanted to take the opportunity to share it with you. Let me know what you think. I feel like there's a lot of topics that we touched here. We have Robyn saying she wants to have a sixth child, or she feels like she might want to have a sixth child. We have Kody pretty much saying, I don't feel it, but like if you do, I guess, okay, I'm not sure. We have the situation with Ari where Kody's like, she's a handful. I need to reclaim my life. I don't need another child. We have Robyn and her defensiveness over Ari's behavior, as well as excuses for it. Oh, and I guess if we put this all together, it kind of goes hand in hand with the last video I did about Robyn proclaiming her faith and how important it is to her, because they never did go ahead and have another child. This video was from 3 years ago. Well, let me take that back. This video was aired 3 years ago, which means it was filmed 4 to 5 years ago.
That was 6 years ago.
Precisely. 10 years ago.
20 years ago, maybe.
So if she really believed she made these commitments to these children that are waiting for her to birth them, and then she made the choice not to do it, it's kind of going against your faith, isn't it? That's how it seems to me. But the whole thing is so bizarre to me that I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around it in general. So let me know what you think. Let me know any information you have. Let me know your opinion on all these points. I hope this was a video of new information for you, because it kind of was to me. A lot of it I hadn't remembered. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you next time.